While the status of school resource officers in Minnesota Public Schools remains up in the air, St. Peter Schools is choosing to keep their designated officer in the hallways. St. Peter Schools Superintendent Bill Gronseth issued a statement to KUIC News Now regarding this decision made before the start of the school year. He says in part, quote, "The role of a school resource officer is not to serve as a disciplinarian or provide behavior management other than for the occasional incident that reaches a level that such assistance is requested by an administrator," end quote. Gronseth goes on to say the district and St. Peter Police Department will continue their partnership as the legislative issue is debated at the state level. Waseca Public Schools and the city's police department have also elected to keep a resource officer on site this year.